outback Australia. I'm going outback Australia. I'm going outback Australia.
G'day everyone, it's Roy from Sulli-Van Caravans again. Now, I've had a chat with KJ and I've had a chat with Cha-Cha, but I'm really keen now to have a chat with Belinda Sullivan. So Belinda, welcome this morning to have a bit of a chat, and we really want to talk a bit about what brought you to where you are. I mean, we know that this is really Kevin's dream at the end of the day, and we understand that certainly from my experience so far with the children have embraced that really well. But this is also a really tough one for you because you've gone from the family home. Now you're going to have to play mum and school teacher and Lord knows what else in a tiny little, I mean, it's a lovely caravan, we all agree, but it is still tiny compared to what you used to. And you've only spent a few nights in there so far. So tell me first off, the journey to get you where you are today. What and how did Kevin convince you to do this?
Very good question. Look, I think it's, I think any dream that you buy into as a family is something that we all bought into. And I guess I've been unwell for a few years, so in many ways I've prevented Kevin fulfilling his dream, and he really had to be on the road. So when this opportunity came up, it was not only helping fulfill his dream, but part of me being at home was preventing me getting well too. So to be able to let everything go and have new experiences and new environments and no stress in some ways is actually the final bit of my recovery that I need. So coming and having the Sunland Sulli-Van is actually so much bigger for our family than I think anyone could ever imagine.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but it's still a tall order. You've got a 11-year-old, a 9-year-old and a 5-year-old all tucked in this tiny van. You're going to have to do all the cleaning, I know we spoke about doing the washing the other day. I mean, you've got to handle all that, and now you're also going to be the school teacher. Although good news for you is they see you as a good cop, not the bad cop. But you're going to have to school teach them as well. I mean, there's a lot of discipline that's going to go on there. So you would have thought about all this before you went out and agreed to do it. So what went through your head to do it? What made you? I mean, I understand what you're saying before about there's kind of a commitment because you're supporting your husband. I get that, but still, you've got to go through all this mental process of how am I going to project myself into doing this, haven't you?
Yes, I guess life experience, everything. I mean, I'm an ex-policeman too, so I think all your experiences coming about and being organised and the adventures, the amazing experiences for the kids. I guess it's just I'm very task and list orientated. So I think just planning through, delegating, the kids are all taking their own tasks and responsibilities within the van to help clean everything. I guess so much has gone through our head, but in some ways it's nice to not know, I think have a bit of clear space for the unknown. I think that's the nice thing about coming. So I'm not an overthinker either, so whilst I like to plan, I don't overthink things. And so coming into the van this last week has been amazing because, we're just starting to work out how we can best use the space. And we bought some things. It looked like we had a lot of stuff. And then, we've left a lot of space too to replan things within the van. So, and really make it ours and make it versatile. And work with us so it can be our home away from home. I think it's organic. Whilst I'm planning, I think very much our journey is very organic, and we're really excited by that. So I think it's going to continue to evolve, and my role will continue to evolve. As we learn not only the van's capabilities, but our own within it. And set those new boundaries and rules, like you said. There's been a lot of fighting between bunks and spaces already.
Well, we tried to eliminate that by putting their names on the bunk, but it was never going to really be successful, was it?
No. So, so we're finding all those things, being able to, I think just using everything as well, like the van. It's just blown us away, the technology, the washing machine, everything. The functionality of the van. yeah, it's amazing. So
But putting the caravan aside, because really I want to get up here in your head a little bit. I mean, a lot of
it'd be
people.
very scary.
Yeah, well, a lot of people know a bit about Kevin's background. I mean,
Yes.
we know Kevin's a successful songwriter and performer, and we know that Kevin spent time in the police force, and we know that Kevin spent time up there. But actually, in your own right, you were also extremely successful. And I love that thing where they talk about, the success of a man is often born about by the success of the wife or the other party. I mean, in your case, you've been CEO of some foundations, you've been a police person. I say police person because I don't know what's great nowadays with that. But I've been a police person and a successful one at that, because you were actually a detective, weren't you?
Yes, and I actually taught my academy too. So I taught my class when I went through the academy, so my name's actually on the wall at the police academy as well. So I was very blessed. It was a small amount of time, but I spent 5 years in the New South Wales Police. It was a service then, it's gone back to force.
Yeah.
And then I decided that I wanted to pursue a life in prevention. So I then went into the not-for-profit space, which enabled me to work in state and overseas charities. And then ultimately I was the CEO of the Eye Foundation, which was a spin-off after the Fred Hollows Foundation. So I got to work and represent all the eye doctors for Australia and New Zealand and sit on boards. And then Kevin had an accident 11 years ago. And so overnight we pretty much both became unemployed, which was a very difficult journey for us. And we weren't really geared up for not thinking that we were never just going to work. So it took us about 4 or 5 years till I came back into the workforce, and actually then I went to work for the Smith family, and then ultimately I took a number of roles with them part-time. They headhunted me, and then ultimately I head up their retail operations for New South Wales and the ACT, and I'd never run retail before, and I helped rebuild them and then until they sold the business off last year. And I became redundant after my accident. So, lots of different.
Yeah, because you both had quite bad accidents. Kevin's, it was the arm, and yours has been your back, isn't it?
Yeah, so my neck actually. So I ended up having my C5 and C6 and C6 and C7 replaced, and they decompressed the nerves in both my shoulders. You know, it was all over picking up Jet. So on my stairwell.
Oh, really?
Not that we ever tell him that, but
yeah.
That was the final straw.
We'll try and keep that secret. Otherwise, he might end up with issues as he gets older. But look, it's not been an easy road for either of you to get to where you are today. But I love the fact that you guys have said, you know what, we're not going to go down the easy road. We're going to move outside our comfort zone, and we're just going to go out there and do it. And I just love that about your family. I mean, I love your family completely. I mean, those 3 kids of yours they are fantastic kids.
They're
and
amazing.
I know they're going to learn a lot along the way, and I know it's going to be, look, there's everyone's excited, and I think that'll continue, but there are going to be some fairly trying times along there that you guys, I know, no matter how tough it's going to be, you're going to see your way through it. I mean, there are going to be times where you're going to be stuck with the reins there and you can't do anything, and you're stuck in a spot for a while, or, those sort of things are going to do. And you're all in this little box. I just think it's amazing that you've got your head around it. And we do, when this is all over, we want to get you back, Belinda, so you can tell the people out there just about the experience, what you did and some things that you wouldn't go. But if there are parents out there thinking about this right now and thinking, we want to take the kids out, show them more of life. We think this adage of a 9-to-5 job and mowing the lawns on Sundays actually, got whiskers. We think we should be out there doing more. What would you say to those parents? How would you suggest that they go about this?
I just think go for it. Follow your heart, not your head. That's what we've done. COVID taught us, and I think for many people, COVID taught us that you don't need to work in the office. Working and learning remotely now is, if anything, great for Australians. I think we should all be seeing our beautiful country. That's one thing that we're really excited about. Kevin travelled for 18 years in the outback, and I never joined him, and the children, we had rare opportunity to. So the fact we can do it now with him is amazing, to share that together. there's so much to learn, and I think what I'm learning is, it's just lovely. It's peaceful. It's tranquil, even though it's small. But once we lived in Alexandria in a 3 metre by 3 metre house, so we have lived in small things before. But it's just an opportunity, I think, for many of us we may never see again, and it's been forced upon us. And I think for those of us who felt scared, which is what we felt, it's actually an opportunity to step out of that, and really live a life that you dreamed. And I really encourage everyone, all Australians, to embrace it, and hopefully we'll see you on the road.
And that's the way, guys. Get out there, get off your butts, go and do what you should really be doing, enjoy life, and hopefully you'll meet the Sullivans with their Sulli-Van on the road, and you can say g'day, because Kevin encourages that all over the place. So, Belinda, it's been delightful to have you come and have a chat with us today.
Thank you, Roy.
What a beautiful family, and I'm wishing you all the success in the world. I really am, and I'm sure you'll have it. So that's it for now, and we'll see you for the next one.
See you soon.